Hey everyone, today we are in Pennsylvania, the northwestern part, the high elevation area. That oil well right there is not running for some reason. It usually is running in the summer. In the winter they usually shut it off. I always assumed the oil's just too thick to pump through the pipes. So this location you might remember, and driving up here I kind of knew it was going to be like this because further down the road every single beaver swamp I usually look at is just destroyed by the DOT. And so is this one. It looks like they trapped and relocated everything. So we probably will not make another intentional trip out to these locations, just if we're in the area, because today, over the past day, it took over 12 hours of driving just to get to this one spot. And there's absolutely nothing for us. So we step out, we're still gonna look at it. There might be beavers. That looks recently elevated. Just want to get out and take a look. So every year we come here a couple of times to unclog this pipe here, and I can tell by the vegetation there hasn't been much water really going through here. Every year the beavers always make a dam down here in the ditch. It appears to not be there this year. Usually we got to walk down there and remove that. Usually the ditch is completely flooded by that dam, but you can see it hasn't been this year with the amount of growth we're seeing. Right here it looks like a tree fell across the road, probably through the power lines. That's what all that debris is. Nothing to do with the beavers. We come over here to the other side. The water is quite muddy, as you can see. What do we got? This is thick mud, but there is a blockage after all. Let's see, how far down is that pipe? Let's do a little digging by hand. See if we can. There's a lot of pill bugs in here. Trying to make it easier for myself by finding it right now, because we haven't been here in a good bit. Look at that, there's a big earthworm down there. Is that it? Maybe. There's an indented area, but I'm not feeling anything at the moment. Yeah, there's the pipe. Look at that. Now we just found the pipe, and it's wide open. Now we just got to get rid of tons and tons of mud. So the beavers might still be active at this spot, but wait until later when I show you guys some of those beaver swamps that they recently destroyed down the road. So it looks like they might still be here. Usually the water's a lot higher. It looks like they may have recently drained it, because look, all the clumps of grass they put here are still alive, even the ones we just dug up. So I got a lot of mud on my shoes. All right, let's get the big high boots on and get to work. We are not gonna get the big high boots on. I just went down here to clean off my sneakers and just slipped on the grass and went right in almost up to my knees. So we don't need the boots now. It's okay. Nice warm day. I'll dry off eventually. All right, everyone. We are out and camera number 2 is going. Woo! All set up. So this whole ditch here is expected to flood now. This grass should be underwater shortly. I'll be walking through water if this goes to plan. I don't know why. This is the only spot my camera overexposes. Every time I film in this one spot. Here we go. I never had that problem anywhere else. All right, so the beavers have a big, thick dam here for us today. Got the rake out, so we got to dig a trench. And once we dig a good enough trench, it should be actually pretty easy to get this flowing. It'll help us really tear it apart. All right, here we go. And this right here, like a lot of our blockages, the beavers can literally plug this up so fast. It's just for buying the road time. If we get rid of this water, the water's barely flowing. It'll take forever for this water to fill back up, is the point. So yes, there's a lot of mud. They'll have this thing clogged up so fast. Look at this mud, how it just sticks to the rake. This is very sticky, heavy, waterlogged slop and grass clumps. All right, camera number 2, you'll start to see some movement now. And now that there's movement, hopefully it'll help us really tear it apart. This is so heavy, these slop. That is so heavy. Giant spider just got knocked in there. Now that we got pressure, we can just let it all pass so they can't reuse any of this slop. I'm starting to boil in the sun. I'm getting dirty doing this one. This one's going strong. The culvert can't even handle what we got open now. Keep on dredging. It's helping us too. Hitting some beaver rocks. We're running out of water. It's going down fast. You hear that? We just sent the rock through. Just making sure nothing's stuck. It's just hitting capacity right now. Look at all those nasty swamp bubbles. These are starting to stink. Still dredging. We got a lot to go. And those beavers have like unlimited mud here. We're getting below the pipe now. Dropping quickly. This is the most mud I've ever seen at this one. It didn't look like much at first. I didn't even think it was flooded when I came by. This is the most debris I've ever seen here. We're just about done dredging. If you can see the rake, it's about down to the bottom of the pipe. This water will be completely gone pretty soon. You saw when we arrived, there was like nothing coming out of the culvert. Meaning barely anything's feeding this. This will take weeks to fill back up unless we get a giant rainstorm. And the water's already dirty because it's probably a dirt road around here. Or the beavers or something in here stirring it up. Yeah, we're running out of water and we got it open. I'll wash off my shoes on the other side. And that stick just went through. We are completely open. How long did that take? I'm very sweaty now. Wow, only 11 minutes? Would have thought longer. See, who knows how much water's up there that has to come down. But you see all the debris floating from upstream? More beaver activities. But this is gonna drain pretty fast. Let's get to the other side. It's really hot out today. I'm sweating a lot from that. I always feel a little clumsy after doing one of those. Yeah, look at that. We got a real good amount of current over here compared to what we had before. Here's what the other side looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Ton of flow. Just about at capacity. I thought for a few brief seconds that something may have been blocking it down here, but no, just a ton of water. Now, if you've seen this area in years past, this whole area would usually flood so high because of that beaver dam that they did not repair this year. Now I just got to spend a little bit of time, camera number 2 off, take off my boots or sneakers, and I have to dump them out. They're gonna be full of mud and silt, even though I can't really feel anything. I'm not necessarily cleaner. Well, I am cleaner, but not necessarily clean, because look, that water I'm washing off in contains so much silt in itself, but it's better than what I started with. We'll eventually clean off again at a crystal clear area, because this is moving a lot of sediment, still eroding the other side of the road a ton. Here's what the discharge area looked like before. And here's what it looks like after. Let's go take one more look at the other side before we get out of here. This road here, they're about to resurface it. The sign on the road says, doing chip sealing. See this? This is not the asphalt you're seeing. They pour oil and then they're gonna sprinkle pebbles over the top of it, and then it hardens. Look at the clear water just filtering in here. That looks so cool. Look at this. It's a lot better than when we arrived. Wow, take a look at all the snails. Look at them. Bunch of snails. I love the big land snails. Here's what this side looked like before we started doing anything. And here's what it looks like now. One thing I'm finding that's really cool, there's bubbles coming up absolutely everywhere in the swamp, because now that the water's dropping, there's not as much pressure keeping those pockets closed. That's a lot better than when we started. Here's what it looked like before we started. And here's what it looks like now, a whole lot better. Eventually we'll be back to do another periodic check. Probably right before winter. All right, everyone, we're pulling off. I want to show you a couple more beaver swamps further down the road and what the DOT did to them. They're so empty, but you can tell it happened so recently. I wonder how well this ugly road will be when it's covered up with the chip seal. That camera won't stay straight because I broke my last holder, and this holder here is such a piece of junk from Walmart. You cannot tighten the screws enough to hold the weight of your phone or you'll actually crack it, so I end up having to put super glue drops in there. There's all the giant piles of pebbles they're gonna put out on the road. Check it out, everyone. The last time I was in this area, this was flooded up to the road. But now they've literally made a road going into this old beaver pond. Look at that. There's even a culvert pipe over there for the little stream. I wonder if this was always a road. I don't think it was. Look at this. That's creative, what they're using as a beaver cage. And there's a frog in there if you just saw him hop. So that other area down there that we always unclog, I've never undone this one before. Just never done it. Not because it was impossible, but because it's someone's property, all this stuff here, and didn't know if they wanted the beaver pond or not. Interesting to see it completely drained. Kind of looks like they've plowed it, like they're gonna plant it or something. I bet that's very good ground for that because of the beaver. And back there's another beaver pond completely drained. Look at the lodge, just sitting in the middle of an empty pond. But you can see lots of dead trees and vegetation. It wasn't a pond for very long, apparently. But this has a giant dam that's not even affecting the road. That was just way back there and somebody drained it. Alright everyone, I hope today's video was interesting. Thanks for watching and have a great day.